combined theme meetings for Youth Revolution. On the combined meetings, we want to, this is a time to focus on giving the awards to the kids, and we'll be introducing the new theme for the next month. That's the primary focus. But I want to point out just from the very beginning that my experiences with award meetings is they are boring. Really boring. Not even just a little boring. They're horribly boring. They're like some of my worst experiences in my entire life, is sitting and watching people, hundreds after hundreds of them, get awards, and you clap and you're like, yay, but all I really want to do is cheer for my son. You know, that's what really ends up happening. So one of the things we're doing for the combined theme meetings is we're turning the awards section, we're copying it after karate. Specifically, we're kind of following some principles and ideas we've learned from Bobby Lawrence karate. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But the main point is we want these meetings to be exciting and fun and concise. If you have to give out 50 awards, that's a lot of awards. And if you don't do it right, everybody's going to be falling asleep or saying, man, I don't want to go to meeting because there's like 50 awards this time and it's going to be boring. We don't want that to happen. There's a way to make it better. So that's what we want to do. So we're going to start off with the opening exercise, again with prayer. We want to go over the recitations and creeds that they learned that month. So I like to tease whenever I do these combined meetings and say, okay, we're going to see if your teachers did a good job or not. And I ask the question for the creed and see if they know it. And if they don't, then I make fun of the teachers. So the reason I do that, one, is just kind of make a joke out of it if they don't do a good job. But instead of making the kids feel embarrassed that they don't know it, to make them be able to kind of push that off on the teacher a little bit, but at the same time they know, in their heart they know that they should be doing better. And, it's not that hard to memorize these creeds. It's not like they're a paragraph long. They're pretty easy. So at any rate, so we try and make that playful. And during the combined theme meetings, it's helpful once in a while to remind them, why do we do the creeds? And just kind of, the person in charge of the combined theme meeting won't be, or normally wouldn't be a teacher, be somebody who's in charge of the whole program. That's part of their visual to be, this is the person who's in charge, this is the person who's taking care of the whole program, this is who you go to whenever there's a problem, that sort of stuff. But you want that person involved to have some interaction with the kids, and this gives them an opportunity to remind the teachers, remind the students, why is this important, why do we do this? So, just a thought. Okay, announcements, again, this is going to be easy. Spotlight. Spotlight for this is going to be kind of group-wide. So we do a combined meeting for Junior Revolution, separate from a combined meeting from Youth Revolution. Too many kids, can't do it all together, and so we separate them, and then we meet afterwards together for refreshments. So the spotlight, therefore, is going to be like maybe somebody who did something really awesome all by themselves, and it's good to highlight them. I'll give you a couple examples. One of our youth wrote a song for Youth Revolution. She just did it on her own. Nobody asked her to. Nobody even suggested it to her. It just came. It was in her heart that she wanted to do it. So at combined meeting, we had her sing it to everybody and play her guitar, she got a lot of attention from it, and people were excited about it, and it was fun. So that's the kind of thing we might want to spotlight. Another month we spotlighted. I mentioned that somebody carved a chain out of one piece of wood, a small little log or something. So we showed that and spotlighted that. We have a member of the community who designs games and writes books, and so we showed the games and books and pieces that he did as a spotlight. Lots of things can be done there. Spiritual thought. The spiritual thought for this, again, we don't want these to be really long. Maybe 10 minutes, maybe 5. Doesn't have to be really long. Try and focus the spiritual thought on the principle that's going to be taught for the next month. So if you're talking about, you're going to introduce art, then the spiritual thought should be about art. It's nice and lovely and virtuous and true to have a spiritual thought on any number of thousands of topics. But again, what we want to focus on is leadership principles. We want to focus on empowering the youth. And if we can teach a principle that's empowering the youth and teaching leadership principles that has to do with the unit that we're teaching, that's the kind of spiritual thought we're really looking for. Something that really is focusing on preparing them to be excited about what they're going to be doing next month. Okay, awards. Here's how you make it fun. Well, actually, here's how you make it boring. You have your certificates, and you call their name, and you wait for them to walk up, You hand them the certificate, you call the next name, and you wait for them to walk up, and do it like that. This is how you've seen in high school commencements, college commencements. It's what you see for primary graduations and stuff like this. It takes a really long time. It makes it really, really boring. Here's what they do at Bobby Lawrence Karate. They call your name up, but first of all, they have exciting music on. Now, this is a problem for some fundamentalists, and I don't know how you are, but my experience with fundamentalists is they like something that's 80 or 90 years old at least, and then that's fun for them. The kids don't like that most of the time. That's my experience. They're not excited about it. And so what we do is we look for something. Maybe it's folk from a different world. Maybe it's nothing but drums. Maybe it's something that's exciting, that's folk music, that's from Celtic background or something like that. Who knows? It could be any number of things. It doesn't have to have any lyrics. It doesn't have to be wicked. If you're okay with jazz and you don't think jazz is wicked, there's lots of fun stuff you can do with jazz or fusion. But anyway, we want the music to be exciting, something that makes you, that you want to run to, or that you want to work out to, or that makes you just kind of get your adrenaline going. That's the kind of music we're looking for here, something that's exciting and fun for the kids. You put the music on, it doesn't have to blast. What we do here is whoever's conducting the meeting will read the certificate. They will hand it to their teacher or a teacher, and then there's another person up there that has Youth Revolution dollars. And we'll talk about your goals and how you get your awards and stuff later. But you pass the certificate, and the Youth Revolution dollars are maybe put it there with a paperclip. You hand that off to the person next to you, and so you read it. The kid has to not walk. They run up to the front or jog. You make fun of them if they walk, okay? Like, oh, so-and-so is a porcupine or a sloth or whatever. You make fun of them or tease them or do something. I don't care what you do to get them to run. Because if they walk, that takes too much time. It's slow. It's boring. The music's going. They should be exciting. You know, get them to run up there. They run up. They get their certificate. They get their Youth Revolution dollar. And then you make them, you know, do this or do something, you know, make a smiley face or do something to be excited and get back down and sit down. And so while you call one person, they're running up, and then you start reading the next one. So the next person's running up. And you do that quickly so that things are moving fast. It doesn't take a long time. It's more fun. They're not up there getting spotlighted quite as long, and so shy kids aren't as embarrassed. Maybe they'll be like this instead of going like this. But, you know, whatever. As long as there's some energy and enthusiasm going, and one person sends them a certificate, shakes their hand. Next person gives them a Youth Revolution dollar, shakes their hand, and kicks them off stage. You want them to be fast-paced. They're still excited to get their rewards. They're still happy about it. They might even hold their certificate up if they're especially excited about it. Whatever it is, that kind of energy and enthusiasm makes those meetings fast and exciting, and the kids like them better. I promise. Always true. And then, after the awards are done, and we've taken the time to do that, then you go through the lesson. You have an expert come in and present whatever it is that you're teaching. Doesn't matter what it is. It's an expert for the next unit. Find somebody who's passionate about the subject. That is absolutely key. If you get somebody that goes up there, I really love what I do. I've been working on leathercraft for 40 years, and it's been a source of joy to me. The kids are not going to be excited about the next unit. Even if she's awesome leathercrafter, they're not going to be excited about it. You need somebody who goes up there and says, I just want to tell you kids, I love art. I've been an artist for only 20 years, and it's what feeds my soul, and this is what I want to tell you about it. God is a great artist. I want to be like God, so I'm going to teach you about art. And all of you have it within you because we're all supposed to be like God. We're going to be God someday, so therefore, we need to learn to be artists, and I'm going to teach you how you can do that. You want somebody with energy and excitement like that, and maybe even more than I'm demonstrating right now, but you got the idea. Okay, so after that's done, that should be about 25 minutes. Again, your meetings show that.
Uh-oh.
You get a big picture of your finger on the screen.
I wonder
I don't
if
think
they're
it's
getting
going to show.
the picture, though.
No, I think they are.
Okay.
That should last about 25 minutes. Your activity should only last about 20 minutes afterwards. The whole thing is maybe somewhere around an hour long. And the activity can be refreshments, it can be a game, it can be everybody going around and seeing. For next instance, this next month, we're going to have everybody who does an art project, they're going to have them put out on tables so everybody can kind of walk around and see them while they're having refreshments, intermingling, that sort of thing. Or it could be just going outside and playing a game and having fun. Doesn't matter. Just something that makes it worthwhile. And then you end with closing prayer. Sometimes we have the closing prayer actually in the combined meetings before we do refreshments. And so the Youth Revolution meets in one room, Junior Revolution meets in another room. They have their closing prayers separately. Then we meet for the activity or refreshments. So that can work as, pretty simply as well. The key with these combined theme meetings is you do not want the kids to feel it's an award ceremony. Because if they feel like it's an award ceremony and they didn't achieve their goal, they don't show. You want them to feel like it's going to be fun. They're going to get a little spiritual boost maybe. They're going to hear a lesson about the new month and see what exciting thing it's about. And there's an expert coming. It's not just Brother so-and-so who you heard last month and the month before and the month before, but somebody maybe outside the community that does some great thing that you want to learn about and have an activity and refreshments available. We want them to be excited about coming to these meetings and not feel like, oh, I didn't get an award, so I'm not going to show up. We want to make the awards fun and make the kids excited for that, but we want them to want to show up to the meeting in and of itself because it's going to be fun by itself. That's it.